She was green-eyed, she was feline, and she had a sidekick too, named Claudine. She had her own special talent that I wish I had. She could transform into a cat. If you couldn't tell, she was beautiful, but she was very jealous. And she hated Shera. She wanted to be the star. She wanted to be in charge. So she teamed up with Skeletor, and they went to Snake Mountain, and they kidnapped Bow, and they kidnapped Glimmer.
Hey Hebrew fans, this is Todd, and today we're going to open up Catra. Now, it's funny, as a young adult and as a kid, I never really had any Shera figures per se. It was all He-Man. But if they would have made the Shera figures like this, I would have definitely bought a few if possible to go with my He-Man toys, because they just feel more action figure-y than doll-like. Now, it is funny, I just watched the guy last night on YouTube open up a case fresh bunch of He-Man figures, and it said dolls on the side. I was kind of cracking up when I read that. But anyway, I digress. I was hoping to make a whole long video about this, showing my Catras in the past and everything else on my custom cat form, but I just never got around to remaking the armor and the helmet for my cat form Catra for classics. So I just thought, you know what, this has been sitting around for a long time. Stuff keeps getting piled on it. It's just time to open this up and be done with it. So let's go ahead and open this figure up and check out how cool it is. On the back of the box is some other figures in the line. We can see we got Faker, Leech, and Catra. And it shows here includes Catra's cat form. Dun dun dun. Which we never had an action figure form before, so it's kind of cool to have it. So let's go ahead and bust her out of here. Get her out. Now, Catra, if you don't know, is the main villain of Shera. You're like, wait. Catra's the main villain of Shera? What are you talking about? I thought the main villain of Shera was Hordak. Well, Hordak is the main villain of Shera when it comes to the cartoon. But when it comes to the actual toys, the main villain was Catra. Now, if you take a look at the old toys, the Horde fell in the Masters of the Universe line, not in the Shera line. Now, in the cartoon, of course, they used Hordak for the main bad guy in Shera. But Hordak was really meant to be just another faction in Masters of the Universe, not directly in the Shera line. Let's see. Look at that. They got the Tower Tools stuff, and hopefully they re-release all those things. Those were cool. I guess it's not Tower Tools. That's that blaster set. This was so weird. This was like a Brave Star, where you used the light, or like a laser tag, and you'd shoot the light out of here and hit this thing and blast somebody off of it. Now, this is supposed to be the bad guy's thing that you're blasting, so it's funny that Tila's on there. They're going to blast Tila. Oh, look at that. It's a fun vehicle, too. Man. They got some cool stuff. The jet sled. Alright, let's take a look and see what's removable on her. And we have the arms, the waist, the boots, and the head, which is what we expected. Nothing new or special there. Alright, so I bought this figure for one reason only. And it wasn't for the cool Catra figure, which does look mighty cool. It was for this cat right here. This cat was the whole purpose for me buying the figure. And I was hoping to repurpose it for my classics, but it is going to be way too small for classics. I mean, you can just see she's out of the camera field even. Boop. I mean, that is not much of a... Oh, and Catra's down. Just not much of force to be reckoned with. Now, even for Origins, it seems kind of small too, being it's supposed to be her in cat form. You would think it'd be a lot bigger. Now, I don't really remember Catra too much turning into the cat form because I did not watch a lot of Shera, but I did watch the new one on Netflix, and it was quite a bit bigger cat form they had. I'm trying to remember how that worked. I don't remember if it was her pet cat or what, but we had the cat form somehow. I don't remember. Kind of wish I would have pulled the classics out just to compare, but we will look at Masterverse, since that is the new ones. I just don't want to scratch that red paint on her boots. There we go. Let's talk about articulation. We have ankle articulation, and this is like a lot of ankle articulation. That's crazy. We have single jointed knees. Bend, don't break. There we go. Not a lot of movement that way. Then we have the hip movement. Then we have her internal waist with her rubber dress, which I really love when they do that. It's so cool. And then we have shoulder, single jointed elbow, wrist movement back and forth on this side, and wrist movement up and down on the right. And then we have her head moves around, and we have her mask, which has like a rubber band around the back. Now in the storyline, when her mask comes on, oh, that looks so cool. When her mask goes on, she turns into the cat. Meow. There it is. So they're never at the same place at the same time. It's not her pet. It's actually her transformed into the feline version. And I guess it's something to do with the mask. It's some kind of magical mask or something. But that's pretty cool. I'm afraid lifting this up and down after a while, I'm going to wear off her eyebrows. But that is cool. Her mask lines up with her eyes. But you'd never see it because she would just transform instantly once she puts it on. But still it's cool. All right, let's go ahead and look at some. What happened to her boot there? Something didn't come right in the package. I'm gonna have to heat that up and fix that. Hopefully I can. All right, let's take a look at some other figures from the Origins line. Because obviously with Classics she is way too small, but she was made for Origins. Here she is next to Tila, and you can see she's just a little bit shorter, but it might be because of the Masterverse head I stuck on her. So let's get a different figure. Let's get Flea Man here. Yep, very comparable. Looks very cool. Now, I'm usually not a huge fan of these cartoon figures. Like when they made the Tila cartoon version, I was not happy with it at all. Now, normally this is supposed to be connected to this, I believe. So I actually glued mine originally on my Classics, but it doesn't go down far enough to glue it on there. So maybe not. Maybe I was wrong. I'm not sure. But there's actually multiple tones of color in there. You got kind of oranges and reds. It's kind of hard to see in the camera. Very cool looking figure. Very cool. I just wish the cat was bigger. So I have thought about taking this cat and trying to scan it in and making a Classics version, making it huge. I think it should be like at least mid-thigh height. That makes a lot of sense. Because that's just awfully small. Looks more like a statue of her instead of actually being her. Because there's really not a lot of positive things turning that small and just to run into a little hole somewhere. Anyway, I think she's really cool looking. I know it's kind of a short video, but leave your comments in the bottom what you think about her. And I'm going to go fix this right now. I pulled her boot off, and you could see when I waited for the water to boil how that looks. Hopefully that will be fixable once the water is heated up. But when they installed it, it just kind of got folded over, and they just jammed it in there and went with it. And you can see right there is the radius of the leg being shoved into there. So hopefully it's fixable. We shall see. All right, I stuck it in the hot water, and bada bing, bada boom. It just fixed it right up. Looks so much better. Let's go ahead and install it back on her leg. Burp. There we go. The way she's supposed to be. It's where this one leg isn't closed very good either. Wonder if it's bent as well. It's just the same side as the boot was messed up on. All right. So here is the Masterverse Catra, and you can see that it looks very similar. Now, of course, she has the green eyes going on here in this one, and they gave her the double jointed elbows, which is weird because they're getting away from that in the Masterverse series. But she is a well-made figure, and she too has the waist inside of her tunic right there. So here's the Masterverse one. Very cool figure. I am really digging some of the Masterverse females. They are made very, very well. All right. Anyway, there she is. And she is really cool. Probably my favorite Filmation female so far. I just was not a fan of the Tila face. And I did not get the Evil in, but this was a must. So there we go. All right. And if you want, she could be kind of a fun little short person. Like you could pretend like she changed from her cat form and forgot to become full size again. No! That'd be kind of funny. It just didn't work. I'm still half feline. You know, that would be a good transition frame to go from the tall one to the short one to the cat form. That could be kind of cool. You know what? I'm trying that. I'm going to try to transform her from her to the cat form and see how that works. Yes! We shall do it. All right. Thanks for watching, and good journey. Bye now.
If you found enjoyment, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Do it!